So y'all, it's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I'll be breaking down Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush. Man, cannot wait for this fight. Great fight right here. These guys are some top-ranked lightweights, some top 10 lightweights. But let's look at the rankings. Tony comes in at number 5, and Beneil comes in as number 9 per UFC.com. Only best place for rankings, man. I look at that shit every day. But it is what it is. Let's look at the stats, though. Tony comes with a record of 25-5. Fights out of California, age 37, a height of 5'11", and a reach of 76, which will be interesting. And let's see if this plays, a factor in the fight. Benny, he comes with a record of 24-1. Also does fight at Huntington Beach, California, age 32. So he is obviously the younger guy. He is in his prime, right? He got a height of 5'10", so he's a little shorter. Tony is 5'11", and a reach of 72. So Tony does have the reach advantage of 76. So that will be interesting in the matchup. But yeah, big crossroad fight for Tony Ferguson. Kind of make or break, for him. If he wins this, then, it'll tell us where he's at and if he can still compete with these, top 10 guys. I don't think Tony's ever going to go win a world championship. I think those aspirations are long gone. But, the opportunity to make money as a top 10 guy, I mean, that's something legitimate. Put, food in your kid's mouth. That's something he needs, to maintain that contract and maintain this job. He's gonna have to need this win. I'm not gonna say he's gonna get cut, but to lose this, it's a snowball effect. You lose 2, it could lead to 3. You lose 3, it could lead to 4. You lose 4, it could lead to getting cut. So there's a lot of momentum going the wrong way against Tony. So he's gonna really need to win this, to get back on track, if you know what I'm saying. But for Beneil, man, this is, a big fight for him because it's like, Benny has been in these positions before where, he had a fight with Edson Barboza, top 5 guy, and it didn't go too well. He got knocked out bad. And this is kind of like a comeback. People really, they talk about Jan Blachowicz resurgence, right? Jorge Masvidal's resurgence, Robbie Lawler's resurgence. Beneil Dariush has had a crazy resurgence, and this is a big fight for him to kind of come back and show everyone he ain't done, and he's in the top 5, and it's gonna stay that way. But yeah, man, let's talk about their notable wins. If we look at a guy like Tony Ferguson and his legacy and what he's accomplished as a lightweight, former interim champion. Has obviously won the Tough Show, right? He's been a great fighter for a long time, man. In terms of great wins, first time I really saw it was the Ultimate Fighter finale, was around what's it called, Ramsey Namin, and that Ultimate Fighter season, he knocked everyone the fuck out, and he hasn't shown that kind of knockout power in a long time, but he knocked everyone. It was insane what he was doing. He got some dogs on him. He was just killing people. And then, he lost to Michael Johnson. I know he broke his arm, I think, in that kind of situation. But ever since that Michael Johnson fight, he went, and he does have a winner, Yves Edwards. That's a phenomenal victory to have over, a vet lightweight. But, ever since the Michael Johnson loss, he went on this crazy win streak. I heard about the kid when he fought Gleison Tibau. I didn't watch the Abel Trujillo fight. I didn't hear about him there. Danny Castillo, that was a split decision. But it was this Gleison Tibau fight. He just choked him the F out. Then he goes fights my boy Josh Thompson. And then I was like, oh, snap. This kid is good. And he, Tony, here's how I'm going to say it. Tony was never necessarily an elite fighter in terms of his skill set. Maybe his jiu-jitsu was somewhat elite, maybe. What made Tony elite was his constant pursuit of victory and his durability and the lack or maybe the not having any quit in him was what made him elite. And I know a lot of people might call him stupid, but what he went and did to Josh Thompson, Edson Barboza, Lando Venata, Rafael Dos Anjos, Kevin Lee, Anthony Pettis, and Cerrone, I got a lot of respect for the guy. You'll never hear me disrespect Tony, and in terms of as a fighter, he's what you call he's a workhorse, man. He's the definition of a workhorse. Now, he wasn't very technical, but he just made up for it with his durability and his lack of to give up, his lack of willing to give up, and that's what really carried him through it out. But my thing was, I kind of doubted Tony a lot in his ventures. I'm not gonna lie, I was a Tony Ferguson hater, and nothing against the guy. He had a lot of fans, but the thing with the Tony fans, it was their lack of understanding that he is getting caught and that he was leaving himself open. It's kind of like my thing with the Yuri Pauska fans or whatever, but this was way worse because Tony was on a real win streak, so he did deserve a title shot, right? And that's the problem. People would get mad, like, oh, you're trying to say he doesn't deserve a title shot? And he was getting screwed, so I felt bad for him. But I knew somebody was gonna hurt him and beat him one day. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought Dos Anjos was gonna beat him. Kevin Lee, I didn't think that. I thought Kevin was too young. But after I saw the Kevin Lee fight, I was like, dude, people can beat this guy, right? And even when I watched the Lando Venata, that's what made me pick Rafael Dos Anjos, because when I saw the Lando Venata fight, I'm like, this dude he's looking drunk, right? He's looking drunk, y'all. And so that, right? I see the Anthony Pettis fight. That's on me. I shouldn't have picked Anthony Pettis, right? But I did. I thought Pettis was going to beat him. He was close, though. He was close. But he dropped him. I did pick Cowboy to beat him. I should have known better. But my boy. Actually, he's not my boy. But I don't know what to call him. A helper. And I think it's on my YouTube channel. I think I still have the video. A helper and guide. A soldier. A soldier of justice. My boy Justin Gaethje came in there and smashed that fool, man. But I needed to see that. I needed these Tony fans to see that, and because it's like they acted like their boy was a god. And I told him somebody was gonna hurt him. And this crazy thing. And here's one thing that shocked me about that fight. Really, what hurt Tony was his lack of technique. Right? Because I'm not saying he's not a technical fighter, because he does train like a technical fighter. Well, not all the time, but I assume, he hits pads, he does the boxing work, he does the Muay Thai work, he does the Jiu-Jitsu work in a technical way, right? That's what I'll assume. He's an MMA fighter, he's a professional, so I'll assume he does those things the right way. But when he gets in that octagon, he acts like a complete fool. And there's no justification for it. All right, he's spinning around, he's breakdancing like a dummy, he's picking up mystical sand and trying to throw it at people's faces while getting smacked up, right? There's no justification for it, right? So I just felt like somebody was gonna knock him out one day. And the thing with the not the Tony Ferguson fight, the thing with the Justin Gaethje fight with Tony, I thought Tony's chin was degrading. That's what I was thinking, because, the Pettis fight. Even he got dropped in the Kevin Lee fight, right? The Lando Venata fight. I was like, this guy's going to get smoked one day, right? And his chin held up. And his durability, after that day, I don't know if I can question it. I don't know if his chin is still the same. I don't know if he can take the same kind of punishment. He didn't take it in the Charles Oliveira fight, which I'll talk about. But, that was insane. That was insanity what he went through in that fight. And respect to the guy. Nothing but respect. I won't disrespect him. The guy literally one of the greatest moments I've ever seen on IG Live. Went live on Instagram and made official weight for a fight that didn't even exist. Some people call him retarded for that. But as a wrestler, and I know how hard it is to make weight, and to see a guy do that, I got respect. Because he let every lightweight know in the whole division, I want to be champion more than you. I want to compete more than you. I got it more. I got more drive, more heart, more everything than you. And I thought that was the most badass shit I seen in him. I told the Tony fans, even though this dude's a dum that was pretty cool. And he suffered for it. He did end up suffering for it. And this is what you get when you play games, right? And you think you're unstoppable, and life hits you hard, right? And he fights Charles Oliveira, and I assumed, his fighter's will, his his durability, his veteran savvy, his toughness would break Charles Oliveira, because he's shown that in his career to quit when things get hard. And I thought Tony could do that. Instead, Charles picked him up, slammed him like he was a nobody, and had his way with him, literally and figuratively. He did everything he wanted to Tony, and if Tony wanted to stop it, he couldn't, because Charles wouldn't let him. And now we're in this position where Tony's in a weird spot where people think he's washed, and he fought really good guys in Charles and Justin, and now he's fighting Beneil Dariush. That, when you talk about resurgence, he, in terms of notable wins, I want to go all the way back, right? And what he's accomplished, man. I remember the first time I ever saw him was when he fought Michael Johnson, and that was a big fight for him. Before that, he beat Jim Miller, Diego Ferreira, the first Diego Ferreira fight. He beat those guys, but I saw him fight Michael Johnson. I was like, wow, this guy's really good. He lost to Chiesa, which, that's a good win for Chiesa, because, Chiesa, the GOAT. Put some respect on his name. I need to put some respect on Chiesa's name, but it is what it is. Then knocks out, and this is crazy, it happened on the Rockhold Bisping 2 card, and he doesn't get no credit for this, by the way. I feel like Chiesa finished him too, but I feel like, what's his name? Beneil Dariush is one of the first guys to destroy Vic's chin. You can really blame, if Vic wanted to sue somebody for chin damages, I don't know how that would work. He could start off with Benny. I really do, and he knocked him out bad. And he ended up getting a fight with Edson after that. He beat Rashid Magomedov, right? But he got a fight with Edson Barboza, and this is where it kind of started going bad for him. It didn't end too well, and things just didn't go his way. It's just that simple. He got caught with a horrible flying knee. And then I remember this like yesterday. We were watching the prelims for UFC 222. I was in Palo Alto, right? I was at my cousin's place. I was so hyped for that fight because Frankie Edgar was fighting Brian Ortega. We were watching the prelims. I never heard of this kid. This kid's name's Alexander Hernandez. Alexander the Great Hernandez. And this, I think some people forget he did this, right? This kid goes, and I always bring this story up, right? Every chance I get. Fights Beneil Dariush. On the prelims, by the way. Beneil's number 15 in the world, I think, at the time. Beneil is a nice guy. Goes, tries to shake this kid's hand. The kid kicks it. He fucking teeps. He teeps the handshake away. And I was just like, fuck this kid, right? And then he goes out there and flattens Beneil Dariush, knocks him the fuck out. I'm like, what? I was shocked. I was like, bruh, this is fake. Huh? And I think it just came to a point where, like, I even said it. It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, y'all. Beneil had a cool run. I thought Beneil was done after this. Instead, Beneil said, nah. He goes out there. And listen, he goes on a 6-fight win streak. Now, some of these guys aren't the greatest guys in the world. But Thiago Moses, Thiago just beat Alexander Hernandez. So that's a good win, right? Drew Dober, that kid's a killer. He also has a win over Alex Hernandez. So just redeeming himself. Destroys Frank Camacho. Destroys Drakkar Close after Drakkar was talking that mess. Destroys Scott Holtzman. Fights Diego Ferreira in a very, very tough fight and gets it done. After that, and this is what I tell guys, karma's real. You gotta respect this world sometimes. What comes around goes around. And when you do fucked up things to people, fucked up things will happen to you. Look at Hernandez right now. I like the kid. I don't hate the kid. The kid. I've seen some interviews. The kid seems like a nice kid, and I think he kind of got in his head and thought he was like trying to, I think, be a showman, and he just got cocky. It happens, right? He's an athlete. He's a successful fighter, so he thought he was better than what he was. So I don't hate the kid. I did enjoy. I'm not gonna lie. I think I have the video on my YouTube, watching Drew Dober destroy him. I enjoyed that. I'm not gonna lie. But after that, I didn't. I could care less, right? But he was super disrespectful to Beneil, and look where he's at. Beneil kept it respectful. Beneil kept it classy. He's been one of the most professional guys in this company, and look where he's at. He's in the co-main event spot at UFC 262, fighting a top 5 guy, where Alex Hernandez is in an unranked spot. What comes around goes around. That's the world we live in. But it is what it is, and he's kind of back in that Edson Barboza fight. He's back where he was. He brought himself back, and he has a real choice today, right? Do I go back to getting flying knee in the face and choking or fumbling this great opportunity, or do I pick myself up by the bootstraps and I take the opportunity over a guy that is degrading, that is aging, and do I beat him? And that's the big choice. For Tony, there's another thing. There's another thought that comes into his head. Do I let this guy take everything I've worked for? It all goes away. He was on 12 fight win streak. All that goes away. Any hopes of winning a belt, I don't think Tony can do it, but I think Tony thinks he can do it, right? He should. He's a fighter. What are you in this game for? Not to win a belt, right? If you believe in yourself, you can do it. Tony does have the reach event. He does have the jab. Tony used to wrestle, all right? I don't know what happened to Tony's wrestling chops, but my brother, you got to learn how to sprawl, right? I don't know, maybe you got to relearn it, or you can't just pull guard with everybody and let everyone get top position on you like that. And that's the thing with Tony, and that's why I can't pick him. If Tony showed me some decent takedown defense against Charles Oliveira, I might have picked him. I might have picked him in this matchup. I think Beneil is going to go out there and out-wrestle him and wrestle-fuck him, just like Charles did. I think it's going to be a lot scrappier. I think they're going to scrap more, but I think Beneil gets the takedowns. I think he'll get the control. And it's a 3-round fight, man. If Tony had 5, there is a debate. And Beneil got tired in that Diego Ferreira rematch, but that Diego Ferreira rematch was just the same as the first fight. And there was a long time. There was like 6 fights between that first fight, or maybe even longer. There was a lot of fights in between those 2 fights Beneil had with Diego Ferreira, and he basically had the same performance. Yeah, they got a little better. Yeah, they had more striking, but what he did was the same thing. He just controlled them on the ground and just took them down a whole bunch. I think Beneil can do that to Tony. I can't see, and the one way I can see Tony winning, I will give Tony his respect, is using his jab and maybe going back to his wrestling roots. I know he's working with Freddie Roach, and obviously I assume his boxing will look better in this fight, hopefully, right? I hope he doesn't have the same deficiencies of keeping his chin in the air, not keeping his hands up in the pocket. My thing is, I don't have a problem if there's major distance between you and your opponent, right? It's okay. You don't have to keep your hands up all the time, right? Because the high guard system, it makes you more tired if you keep your hands up too much for the whole fight. You will get tired from that. So I don't have a problem with somebody that keeps their hands down if there's not a lot of, if there's a lot of distance, actually, if there's a lot of space between them and their opponent, I don't have a problem with. But when you're in the pocket with someone, you're keeping your fucking hands down, like, dude, you're playing with fucking fire right there, right? And man, it is what it is. But Tony has shown those deficiencies, and hopefully that will come back. And if Tony can use his jab and use his sprawl and use his takedown defense as a weapon, and weaponize his takedown defense to get Benny tired and maybe get a late finish in the third or maybe even the second, hey, it is what it is. And Benny has been getting hit, man. He got hurt in the Drakkar close fight. He's been going to war. He went to war with Diego Ferreira. Like, that was a hard fight. That was I don't think Diego Ferreira won that fight at all. I had a 2-1 Beneil, but Beneil was getting hit. Now, Beneil hurt him, though. Beneil never got really hurt. He just was getting stung, so maybe that could add up. But you could say the same thing for Tony, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I got Beneil winning this. Damn, I went 20 minutes. Fuck, I went pretty long on this. But it is what it is. I'm going to try to keep this short. But, yeah, love y'all, and goodbye. Oh, yeah. Hey, I actually forgot. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. And yeah, by the way, I am going Beneil Dariush by decision. I think he'll pick him up and stuff like that. I think Tony has a chance to, use his jab and use his striking and all that stuff. But I don't think it's happening. I don't see it happening. I don't think he'll do it. But it is what it is. You never know. You never know. But yeah, I think Beneil's gonna win this. I just looking at that Charles Oliveira fight. What can you say, right? I went with him. I went with Tony to go pick, to beat Charles, and I can't pick him. But yeah, besides that, yeah, Beneil by decision. I sometimes I forget to say that. Sometimes I talk myself in a circle, or sometimes I might misspeak or whatever. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, follow my fucking Instagram, follow my Twitter. If you're new, subscribe. Go click the notification button. Like the video, comment, and yeah. And share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Petition Nation growing. Love y'all, and goodbye.